Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Just kind of a video here tonight. A bit of some news here. I'll make sure I say that it's official when it's official, but I think I'll be moving here in a few months, and I'll give you guys more information about that as it gets nearer to that point. But I wanted to talk about a few things more particular here that have been things you guys have probably been hearing about. Namely, of course, what's happening in Afghanistan. So, if you guys are anything like me, which I'm sure you are, at least a little bit like me, because you guys watching this, I mean, I make sure that my people that are subscribed to my channel are more like myself, somewhat. I make sure that to put a great deal of emphasis on weeding out the riffraff, only keeping those subscribers that are, yeah, okay. And people that want to hear what I have to say. I want to hear what they have to say, of course, too. So, okay, I'm going to back up here before talking about anything online. So I've personally known people from the following countries in my life. People I've talked to personally, face to face. So, includes the following nations: Mauritius, Ethiopia, Cameroon, Mali, um, Ghana, and also Somalia, and Kenya, and Egypt, and Sudan, South Sudan, and actually quite a few people from the south, from Sudan actually. So Sudan is quite quite a number of people from Sudan. So more than most places, and then probably some other countries in Africa I can't think of right now as well. At least those nations, probably more. In Europe, I've personally known people from Spain. I could talk to them face to face. Spain, Italy, France, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Poland, Czech Republic, or Czechia. Of course, United Kingdom and Ireland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Lithuania, not Latvia or Estonia, unfortunately. Maybe one of these days. That's online. There's a guy from Estonia. I've seen his videos. He's a really cool guy. Anyway, of course, back to Europe, Russia, Ukraine, Croatia, and probably a few other Balkan countries as well, and of course Greece. Did I forget anybody? Oh yeah, the Netherlands also. Holland, the Netherlands. I don't think Belgium, at least the Netherlands. Okay. Um, Now Asia. Here we go. I've known people from Israel, Jordan, or Palestinians. Yes, I've actually known Palestinians. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, several people from Iran. Iran, actually. Yeah, definitely. More than several, actually. So quite a number. Turkey a little bit, not too many. Mongolia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, of course India. Lots of people from India. Nepal, China, and Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and South Korea, and also, this is the crazy thing, I think also even a North Korean, but of course a lot of South Koreans. Japan, of course, the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. Nobody from Laos, nobody from Burma that I know. One lady from Malaysia, a few guys from Indonesia. Um, and then, of course, with Oceania. I mean, I've known people from Australia, New Zealand, and uh, Samoa, and Tonga, Western Samoa, whatever. Tonga, whatever. Probably a few other islands around there. And, okay, then Latin America. Hispanic nations, Latin America. You know, I know the difference. Everybody south of the United States. So I've known people from uh, Uruguay, Argentina, um, Brazil, um, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, I think Costa Rica as well, Honduras, Nicaragua. Well, definitely Nicaragua, but I'll probably also Honduras as well. Definitely a ton of people from Mexico. A lot of folks from Mexico. Big time. Cuba, and then of course Canada, the United States, of course. So these are people I have personally talked to. You know, one-on-one, nice conversations, and I'm probably forgetting some people too. It's very likely that I'm forgetting some people. And I've just lived in the United States. I haven't even gone outside the United States. And well, I've been to Whistler, Canada, Hawaii and stuff. And this is not even including people I've talked to on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm fairly certain that I've talked to people from most of the world. I mean, there's all the countries I've mentioned. Then there's a whole bunch of other ones I only talk to people on YouTube. And so I'm coming into this whole thing with Afghanistan with definitely some knowledge of the country, not only from studying things in school, but also from talking to people. But Afghanistan is one of those countries where the only person I've ever known who was from Afghanistan, there's only one person I've ever known. And I worked with him at a warehouse that was kind of associated with Nintendo. And I liked this guy. He was actually in the Afghan military. And I think I should probably start with this gentleman because, I mean, like, he's just a regular guy. I mean, he was just a nice guy. I just had a dumb summer job, and I was just, I don't know. I remember what that job was like, and it was just, I was midway through, being an undergrad, Central Washington, and just, I don't know. And he's just a regular guy. I mean, like, we talking about all kinds of stuff, and I mean, we had people at that warehouse. I'm sure it's still that way, but we talked to people from Poland, talked to people from that were ex-felons. Like talk to people that a lady from Cameroon. I mean, like, there's all kinds of people that work there. All kinds. All kinds of people. Um, really. Really. And, it's just regular people. I mean, so when I'm on YouTube and I'm looking at all these videos and things and hearing the news about stuff, and then we all, many of us do this, right? Some of us don't do this, but some of us do. We go to the comment section. What are we thinking? Well, we're thinking her, her. First off, why is the United States pulling out of Afghanistan? Well, actually, we were going to do that a long time ago. Because what's the point of being there anymore? Where are we going to... What happened to Osama bin Laden? Did we capture him? Why are we still there? What are we doing there? Oh, we're training the Afghan military so they can defend themselves. Well, I guess we didn't do a good job of that, did we? Wait, didn't we train the Taliban originally to fight the Russians? I guess we did. What were we thinking? It wasn't we. We doesn't factor in there. We doesn't have anything to do with this. I had no part of any of this. I was just a little boy when all this stuff was going on. I was a teenager, so I don't know. I never had any say whatsoever, anything having to do with anything going on over there with the U.S. military. I was just living my life. So I was like, the total amount of tax dollars that were put into the system, I can't even say it's, I don't know how many guns it would, I mean, I'm not Bill Gates, so I'm just trying to say I'm not sure how much I've actually supported the military anyway, financially via my taxes. Not that I had a choice, but I mean, it's not like, I've definitely been paying a fair bit. I'll put it this way. I'm sure at this point it's probably in the tens of thousands of money I've paid in taxes in my life. So I'm not very well off, but I'm not doing too bad. But anyway, I don't even have enough. That's not even enough money to buy a tank. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, like, what did I have to do with any of this? So here I am in the comment section, and as you guys can probably guess, everybody from all over the world is talking about this stuff. And it's just mostly guys, and it's just one big, hey, we're buddies, no, we're fighting, no, we're there, just one big hullabaloo. Bunch of 20-somethings, maybe some older folks, I don't know. And, I'm just, like, part of me's like, oh wait, we were going to pull out of Afghanistan, weren't we? But what were we pulled out? They just folded. Everybody just folded. Why did everybody just fold? Do they want the Taliban to be in charge? The Taliban are tough, yeah. That's why we're training them. And by the way, I just heard this recent, I just saw this recent video about how the Taliban, they want to be inclusive, they said. That's a joke. But I mean, and of course I know about all the people trying to escape, and, so, being a red-blooded American, I get in there and just kind of reading the comments and fully aware that the Taliban are, well, how can I put this? So to speak, they are traitors to the United States because the United States originally trained them. But, it goes deeper than that. But, Taliban are militant Muslims, by the way, I guess Muslims. They want things to be done in the most heavy-handed traditional way you can imagine. And I'm asking myself, wow, in this day and age, which countries actually still think that's a good idea? Well, there are still some. Now let's just talk about this a bit more here. We know everybody, the entire everything you hear in the Western world, in the news media, in the United States, it's always portraying Muslims in a bad light. Always. Always. Unless it's like, oh, some neo-Nazi group. Well, actually, it's not neo-Nazis are attacking Jews. I don't know. Anyway. It's basically negative. And a lot of people think, and I want to believe this too, a lot of people think that, modern times we have a better society for everybody. Europe is so enlightened. Well, China is still killing Uyghurs, by the way, and other things like that. I've still heard about, um, genital mutilations in Africa, and I know why it's going on in certain countries. And then I've heard of oh gosh, well, yeah, what's happening with Afghanistan. So, no, I don't think we're even anywhere. So, a lot of places in the world are nowhere even close to having a peaceful, civilized society yet, or a better society. But are things so amazing in our developed nations? Well, in the United States, this is what we have to deal with. You have to deal with, depending on what you do for your job and your income, and where you live and how much you have to pay rent or mortgage or whatever, if you live in a house or not. Basically, in essence, there's a lot of things that you have to pay for, depending on what kind of life you want to have. If you own a car, you have to pay for registration every year. You have to pay for car insurance. You have to pay for utilities if you want water and garbage and electrical stuff, and you get cable. There's that, Netflix and everything like that, internet. It all costs money. And then I mentioned rent or mortgage, and those prices are going up a lot of times in certain areas of the United States. And then you also have to pay federal taxes, and many states have state taxes. And then if you own a house, you have to pay property taxes. And then there's air conditioning in the summer, which some people have paid for. And air conditioning is a little pricey, but I think it's worth it. And then, of course, like everybody else, you have to pay for food, but food prices have been going up, especially beef, as mentioned before, in other videos. And there's medical insurance, you have to pay for that. And then maybe hopefully your employer pays for it. If not, you have to pay for it yourself. Dental insurance. And then there's, well, let's see. Oh, by all means, and vote. You need to vote. Yeah. Like you would know anything about what is in those voters' pamphlets anyway. Like, we're so busy with everything we're doing. Yeah. Oh, and definitely save money. Save money. Save as much as you can. and vote for the president every 4 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, there's even other expenses I'm not talking about. Well, I mean, like, so, that's just the United States. That's just, it's insane. And so, it's not like we have somebody that's commanding us to be Muslim, but we ended up paying for a lot of things that are kind of forced down our necks. That, you know, like, okay. Now, technically speaking, I mean, I've always thought maybe you just need a place to live and some food and a source of water and a place to poop and good, right? Get a few, for me, it's like music paper, you know. There's other things that make music composition easier. That's great to do as well. That's, ah, do I really need to pay for all this stuff? You know? So, it's like, so I'm thinking about this stuff as I'm talking. I didn't mention any of this, this stuff, but some people, so, and yeah, I've always agreed with the fact that U.S. military bombs the crap out of brown people, like George Carlin mentioned. But it's like, can we actually do anything about it? No. I mean, can any of us fly over to a different country somehow and put ourselves in the way of the bomb or the airstrike? No, that's physically impossible. Do we have any control over what the military is doing? No. I mean, we find out about it in the news afterward. And then people are angry with us. But because people can't yell at the United States government, who do they yell at? It's us. It's just the people that they find on YouTube. Who else can they yell at? I mean, let's put ourselves in other people's shoes here for a second. The only people that they can talk to are the Americans on YouTube. So they have every right to be angry, or every right to be scared, or every right to be whatever, however they're feeling. And it's, man, and I've come across some very anti-Western folks, but to be honest, like, okay, and of course I watched Reactive Stand and watched all this other stuff, and no Muslim young man, well, it's just a young man, because it's young men that are more apt to think this way, perhaps, but no Muslim young man in their right minds, if they were just talking, would want to take a gun to my head and kill me. I mean that, if we actually started talking. Who would do that? Well, they'd have to be a criminal, for one. Or I'd have to do something criminal. There are a minority, I mean, like, I'm sure there are a minority of people that would just kill me. But, take a cold-blooded person to just outright shoot me. After talking to them, that is. After talking to them. Because I was LDS, because I was, Christian or whatever. And we're kind of a different breed of Christian, as it is. We're often considered not even Christian by some. So it's like, but I get it. If your whole world, if everybody hates America, and everybody is Muslim, then of course you're gonna be that way. Why else? Why would you not be that way? If you weren't that way, you'd be like the odd one out for sure. And it's this, can we just all understand that we're all kind of victims of propaganda? Can we just do that? Way. And so you get that vibe in the comment section, but it seems to be anti-religion. It's just all this thing in the book. I just think it's so stupid. Like, oh, religion is not the problem. The problem is Satan, folks. He's dividing us. And if you don't believe in Satan, then believe in the fact that we get hung up about these differences, and then we get so hung up about it that we have national governments that decide to kill each other about it. George Carlin's a bit more crude about it, those things basically. I won't get into what George Carlin says. You guys can look it up if you want to, but I feel like I have the right to get a little bit upset sometimes. Sure, within reason. I guess it's kind of, I almost get more upset with lazy thinking than I do strong opinions about hating the West that seem to come from a more active mind. I'm almost more angered by ignorance than I am about strong feelings one way or another about stuff. If someone has thought out has really thought about things very deeply, that's respectable. But I would at least expect that they wouldn't want to take a gun to my head immediately. Hopefully that's the case. But yeah, the Taliban, they're kind of full of crap, in my opinion. There are probably worse people, of course. Do I think more highly of the Taliban than I do the Chinese government? That's a good question. Because when I say the Taliban's full of crap, what I mean is that, and I thought these guys are straight shooters. They're like very much men of the word. But that whole being inclusive crap, right when that guy said that, I saw that tonight. I'm like, you know what? No, I don't. I just don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Women are always treated like, and that's a whole other thing too. Just don't go there, man. Like it's just don't. Like the old Muslim world, and a lot of it's cultural. But no, you're not being. You guys are not inclusive. Don't even go. Don't even use that word. Don't even try to pander to the nations of the West and try to make yourself look better that way. More progressive. It's not going to work. It's one of the most insulting things I think I've ever heard. Because if you're going to be, a domineering, Muslim male, you know, be a domineering Muslim male. Ah, you guys are probably hearing a little bit more of a cynical, jaded side of me for a bit. And I have every right to feel that way. Yeah, I mean, oh man, if I had my way, we would have never been in there in the first place. We'd have nothing to do with Afghanistan. I mean, not that we just ignore people from Afghanistan. It's just, why were we even there? Because we were there originally because the Russians were trying to make a power play in Afghanistan, apparently. So let them have Afghanistan. What's the big deal? Let nations influence other nations all they want to. And I've been like, what's the point of messing with other nations? Very much like George Washington, like hands off of all these other nations. Let the nations govern themselves. So we've had this big long issue in Afghanistan trying to make Afghanistan more like us. And they're not. Who would have thought that? Oh, wow. The Afghanis are different than Americans. Imagine that. Now, of course, they're very much like us a lot of times. But, I mean, I also thought the guys that are trained by the American military were cowards. They're all cowards. They didn't die to defend their country. They just fled. I'm not really looking at the president so much. It's more the military. Why not hide and take pot shots from hidden places? Why flee? Were they outnumbered? I don't know. I'll make a part 2 about this. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.